there's an atheist that has doubts, he's hesitant, which one is true, which one is not, and looking at the camera, what would you like to say to them?
I would like to say to them, listen, I know that you have gone through difficulty. I know that life is difficult. I know that you may be going through some anxiety and depression, and I'm not here to judge you. Anyone can go through that. It doesn't mean that if you're a religious believer, you're not going to go through that. But it does mean this. You got to think about what the root causes of this all are. Why you're living such an unfulfilled life right now. I would say to you, look, the reason why you're living an unfulfilled life, and this is not something you're going to hear from a psychologist or a counselor. This is not something you're going to hear from a doctor. I think the reason why you're living this unfulfilled life as it stands, and why you've got this chronic anxiety and this depression and this feeling of meaningless and hopelessness, is because the basic human function is not being met. Because you don't have a purpose of life which is solid, because you don't have something to anchor on. And I know this for a fact because I've done these experiments when I went to Scandinavian countries and spoke to lots of people about completely unrelated topics. And they were all telling me, look, meaning has some kind of connection with how they feel in terms of depression, anxiety, and even there's a phenomenon of suicide that's happening in those areas. So what I'm saying to you is that to kind of remove yourself or to get better from that, you need to think about what the purpose of life is. And the purpose of life is the following. It's to do what everything else in nature is doing. And everything else in nature is submitting to that which brought its existence about. That's what everything else in nature, this cup here, this one, that one, even the inanimate objects, they are submitting to that which brought about its existence. So the first question is, you have to admit what brought about your existence. And think about that purpose of life, which is to do what everything else in nature is doing. Submit to that which brought about your existence. And then, and only then, could you be living a fulfilled, satisfied, good life, which will rid you from this chronic anxiety and this feeling of depression that you have.